Hi, Fred, FR5ED here with a beer review. Today, Seadog India Pale Ale. I thought I'd reviewed this before, can't find any evidence of it anywhere. And speaking of evidence, it was hard to find much on this one. That's what the bottle looks like. It's out of, Portland, Maine? Somewhere up in Maine, I believe. Pugsley Brewing in Portland, Maine. On Beer Advocate, it rated a 76, which is okay. That's 41 ratings, and that's all it says. It's 6.2% ABV. No description. Nothing on Rate Beer. I'd had to dig a little farther. I found a site called Beer Review Online, and there was one rating on it, and the guy was a 5 out of 10, saying meh. It was a pretty boring IPA, really. Has some hops, but closer to a pale ale, really, and sort of one-dimensional. There is a commercial description here, though. Let's read what Pugsley Brewing has to say about it. Fashioned after the famous ales from Burton-on-Trent. Okay, now we're talking English style India Pale Ale. All right. Pugsley would kind of give that indication, too. Which took on such bold character after surviving the long rolling voyage from London to Calcutta in the days of the Empire. This is an amber-colored masterpiece. Can't wait, masterpiece. In the world of beer styles. It's 6.2 ABV, I mentioned that. Doesn't have any IBU ratings. Let's open it, pour it, look at it, smell it, taste it, and pass judgment on it. There we go. And IPA glass, IPA. Something tells me not to expect an American-style West Coast IPA brimming with citrus and pine hops. Rather, expect more of the English subdued, muted hop experience, more on the malt-heavy side. Okay, let's see. Again, trying this new method of looking at the color by looking through the... I got to find a light source. Maybe I should use a flashlight, which I have. Hang on a second. Alright, flashlight. Alright, I'm going to come from behind with, that just sounds wrong. Okay, I have the light source on the other side. That doesn't help you guys there any. It is darker than usual for some IPAs. It's the heavier brownish honey color. The head's dissipating fairly quickly, but let's smell it. Oh, does that smell familiar? It's bringing back memories of Orlando Brewing. I wonder the yeast that they use in here. Orlando Brewing, again, I've been told, not by anybody in Orlando Brewing, but people who allegedly know about Orlando Brewing, that they use one type of yeast for everything, for all their ales. And there is something very Orlando Brewing smelling about this. It's bringing me a lot of memories back from when I first started tasting craft beers. I spent a lot of time there. It was the only place I knew of in the Orlando area that brewed. And interesting. I get the feeling that there's some components in here that are common to Orlando Brewing. Maybe it's the yeast. It's a very bready, very malt, bready, forward aroma. Don't smell hops at all that I'm familiar with, American style hops. Yeah, that is not an American IPA. I'm not even aware of any bitterness there. I guess there's some, but don't pick this up expecting an American style West Coast IPA that's bursting with all sorts of aromas of citrus and pine and floral and all that. And don't expect a hop bite. IBUs are nominal on here. There is a little bit of bitterness. It's just starting to make itself known. It's not awful. Again, if I back off the need for the American West Coast IPA, if this is more indicative of the English style IPAs with particular hops and yeast and all that they use, it probably fits nicely in that wheelhouse. Body is above medium. I like that. You know, so it's got the bready, malty taste, above medium body. That's nice. It's not as bitter as I'm used to, and that I like. A little bit of lemony taste there. So, not bad. Again, I'm not going to put this on my list to get again, because if I'm going to have an IPA, I'm going to have an American West Coast style IPA. So if I kind of ignore the fact that it says India Pale Ale on there, realize they mean an English style India Pale Ale, hey, and maybe it's also, it reminds me a little bit of what I've had at Orlando Brewing before, which apparently is leaning towards the English instead of American style of IPAs. Brings back those memories. So I will enjoy the rest of this one. I won't endure it. I'll enjoy it, but I probably won't buy it again. So this is Fred, FR5ED, over and out.